in the midst. Oh God, that you would get the glory in all that is done in this place. That at the end of the day, we remember, oh God, it's about these students, oh God. And that what we do, God, makes a difference in the world. So God, I ask you to bless these that are among us, that are in leadership. Guide their thoughts, guide their hearts, oh God. Father God, if there's anything that's not like you among us, we just declare and decree it is wrapped up, tied up, and thrown away, and that you, oh God, will reign in this place. God, be with us and keep us. This is my prayer. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Waters. And I apologize. The way it was written, you are from the Hilliard Chapel AME Zion Church. If you would, please, we would like to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance with the Carter High School Junior Honors Retreat.
Colors, hope, breathing, colors.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colors. The face. Forward. Forward.
Have a round of applause for our Okay, looking around, I see we have a quorum. Before we approve our agenda today, I have a recommendation that we use a consent agenda for item number 7. If anyone would make such a motion.
Madam President, I motion that we use item 7 on the consent agenda, leaving for question item A.
Okay, we'll pull aside A.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Okay, thank you. I would also like to recommend that we move number 5, our scheduled public comments, to number 7 and move everything up one notch.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we move item number 5 to item 7 and everything else up.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. In that case, I would like to see if we can get a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Madam President, I move that we adopt the revised agenda as printed.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Oh, that's right. As amended.
As amended. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, please. Okay, thank you. And before we get to our recognitions, I do have a statement I would like to make. I met today with State Superintendent Eric Mackey and Mayor Todd Strange, and we had a very positive meeting and spoke about many of the things related to success. We're all on the same page in moving MPS forward. While it's human nature to dwell on the bad things that happen in schools, and I feel like I need to mention that we did have a bad thing that happened today at Lee High School, but I want to reassure that our children were taken care of and the process worked. And I myself am very proud of the Montgomery Police Department and Superintendent Moore and everybody involved in making this less than it could have been. So I'm very grateful for that. In saying that, I also want to mention that we do dwell on the bad things, and I think it needs to be said that there are positive things that are happening every day in Montgomery Public Schools. We tend to overlook them. The bad news tends to sell better than the good news. Recently, the Montgomery Advertiser reported that Lamp was the #1 public school in Alabama, and I don't know that we actually said that. In that same report, we had 3 of the top 30 schools. We had Lamp, we had BTW, and we had Brewtech. That's very good news. We need to talk about that. Test scores have improved. We went up 1 letter grade from a D to a C. Now, we want to go farther than that, but that's an improvement. We need to talk about that. Morale in the schools has improved. Principals are engaged and encouraged. These board members have had a remarkable presence in the schools since January. Finances are at the best they've been in several years. We have a long way to go, and we just got to keep in mind that we are moving forward, and it's just the beginning of what MPS can accomplish. Now, I'm going to give you a personal opinion. These ladies sitting here, this board, it's some of the most intelligent, dedicated, and thoughtful people I've ever worked with. Our superintendent, Dr. Moore, has worked tirelessly to set a good example and tackling one problem after another. I believe that this collaboration will raise MPS to exceed everyone's expectations. We are moving forward. Stay tuned. And in good, actually great news, I'm going to turn the program over to Mr. Salter because we have people to recognize today.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I was just going to say that if we have any bad news tonight, right at the moment, it's crowded in here, but the good news as far as that goes is there's a good reason that it's crowded because we have so many wonderful teachers and students we want to recognize tonight. First up is Jasmine Riley of Park Crossing. Could Jasmine please join us?
Yeah, I believe this is your,
It is
in your district.
Dr. Ivy here. And in a minute, you'll see why she's dressed this way. Jasmine is a member of the Park Crossing High School track team, and she's racked up quite a list of achievements. She was the 2017 state champion in the 200 meter, the 2018 state champion in the 100 meter, and the 2019 state champion in both the 60 and 400 meter races. To top it off, she finished in the top 5 nationally in the indoor 60 meter. Jasmine is now setting her sights on the future after signing a letter of commitment to Troy University. Yeah, let's do it. Want to find out, first of all, are any of our parents or family or come on, stand up, let's see you. All right, all right. Ms. Riley, the board wants to recognize you for your outstanding accomplishments so far and wish you the best as you continue your championship and swift journey. Congratulations. Let's give her one more round of applause. Thank you. Okay, Gabriel Wood, Dr. Ivy, don't go anywhere, and Devin Kelly, and Mr. Hall, Gary Hall. Okay. Next up, we have another Park Crossing student along with a Carver High School student. Can Gabriel Wood and Devin Kelly please join us?
I'm going to invite
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Claudia Mitchell up. She is the district for Carver.
Fantastic. Gabriel and Devin each won a $500 scholarship from the nonprofit group Next Gen Personal Finance for writing essays about preparing to pay for college. More than 800 students from across the country submitted essays for the Payback Challenge essay contest, and Gabriel and Devin were the only two scholarship winners from Alabama. And that's so where are you going? Tuskegee. Where are you going? I'm sorry. Talladega. That's my school. And we got mom and dad and uncles and aunt. Who do we have here? Mom and dad. Fantastic. And mom. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. I know you are relieved, $500 worth relieved on that college cost that is very expensive. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Next, we'd like to celebrate some young poets. Well, Jemai Williams and Kobe Williams, and also Dr. Starks. I thought I saw her somewhere from BTW. Will you come forward, please? Actually, there are 3 U.S. government students from Booker T. Washington Magnet High School that placed first, second, and third in the Emancipation Poetry Contest held by the Emancipation Association of Montgomery. They also received cash prizes with their awards. Jemai won first place at $250. Yeah. Toby won second place at $150. And Trinity Ross, who couldn't be with us today, won third place and $100. And Jemai, did I hear that lunch is on you? Do you have any of your parents or teachers? Oh, come on, stand up. Nana's even better. We love our Nana. Come on. With $500 in prizes between them, I guess that dispels the myth that you can't make money writing poetry. So good work, guys. Good work, guys and gals, and we appreciate you. Let's all join the board one more time and give these students a round of applause. Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Starks, you get to stay. And thank you. The rest of you can be dismissed for that. Thank you. Congratulations. Now that we've celebrated poets, we'd like to recognize a student whose work will grace the outside of a book. Will Lacey Lavoie please join us? Lacey is a senior in the BTW Photography Magnet. She's recently had one of her photographs chosen to be on the cover of the new book, The Ghost of Beech Nut Hollow, by Moody D. Knox Jr. I mean, how cool is it? Did you bring the book?
We have some little note cards if anyone wants some.
Okay. Well, I saw a picture. It is really, really, oh, there you go. There you go. It's really, really cool. The picture is wonderful. They always say you can't judge a book by its cover, but judging by this cover, I'd buy the thing. It looks really, really interesting. Have you got any family? Is that mom?
Yes, I got my mom, me and my best friend.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're so excited for you. You got paid for that? Did you get a little money for it?
I got a little bit.
A little bit of money. All right. That's good. A little bit's good. We'll take it. And hopefully next time it'll be a lot of it. Right?
Yeah, yes.
All right. Well, let's give her one more great round of applause for her fantastic work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We could go all day with our students, but we only have a limited amount of time, and we also have some teachers we'd like to ask to join us. With Ethel Barnes and Miss Floyd from Brew Middle, if she's here, would you please join us, because we'd like to recognize 2 outstanding teachers who were nominated by their colleagues and voted on by an outside panel as the 2018-2019 MPS Teachers of the Year. Heather Weibel and Denka Hart, would you please join us? It's Bianca, I'm so sorry. Heather Weibel is a reading specialist at Flowers Elementary. She was with the Alabama Reading Initiative before joining Flowers in 2017. Among her many accomplishments at Flowers, she's known for her leadership role in the school's growing mentorship program. So let's give her a great big round of applause for being our Teacher of the Year. Bianca Hart is an English teacher at Bellingraph Middle School. She's been at Bellingraph for 6 years and recently received a National Board Certified Teacher Scholarship. That's cool. Like 10 grand or something. A lot of money. In addition to teaching, she's the head of the coach of the girls' basketball team. Let's give her a great big round of applause. Now, we have some amazing teachers in Montgomery Public Schools, and you'll know that for these two teachers are now in the running for the Alabama Teacher of the Year, which is a title currently held by MPS teacher Zeslyn Summit of BTW. And just a couple of years before that, we had another teacher who was our Alabama Teacher of the Year. So you got a good chance, ladies. Let's go, let's get them. Let's give them one more round of applause for everything they do for us here. Okay, and let's see, is Dr. Conyers, Brian Conyers, are you here? And Chad Anderson, are you here? Okay. We'd like to recognize our two employees of the month. Will Janet Rainey and Ed German please come forward? Give them a round of applause. These are our two MPS employees of the month. Janet Rainey is a math teacher at Johnny Carr Middle School. She's a veteran teacher who serves as department head and member of the school's leadership team. She crunches data to guide her instruction, and she always makes sure her students are actively engaged. She's also tutoring athletes after school. She is, according to Principal William Conyers, a model for other teachers. Ed German is a critical member of the MPS maintenance department because he helps keep the vehicles running. He maintains the MPS fleet on a daily basis as well as routine maintenance for 75 vehicles and other pieces of equipment such as lawnmowers and tractors and stuff that we gotta have. He's a real asset to the operations department and to maintenance in particular. Let's give them a round of applause. And you also receive, as well as a come on in. Come on in. Anybody else? You got any relatives, uncles, aunts, cousins? You hear from me, don't you? Okay. All right. In addition to that certificate suitable for framing, we also have a $25 Target gift card. Get a couple of pictures. Yeah. Scott's a magician on the camera. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you, and thank you for your time to take us. Thank you.
See there, I told you there's a lot of good news in MPS. Okay. We are going to now received information. We'll start with Dr. Moore on the organizational chart.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of our students and our teachers as well. Again, we're very proud of you. We know that you're doing wonderful things, and we're going to be looking for more wonderful things from our employees, students, teachers in the future, because we know that it can happen, and we're going to look forward to it. Okay, so tonight I want to, first of all, this is your first look at your organizational chart. We were asked by Advanced Ed to make sure that we went in there and looked at it, to redo it, make it come up to sort of what we're doing nowadays. Can you all hear me?
I had it.
Yes, that's better. So, we went through what we had currently, and in many cases, we went back to some terminology that has been used before in our organizational chart. Some of the positions are vacant and will remain that way for a while because we have to, of course, continue to work with Mr. Watts on our finances, and we're all very much aware of that. But I believe that this is a good way to organize our school district so that we can put our best foot forward, and we'll have people in the right places as we go along to do things that we need to get done. Many of these places are already filled. There are a couple of things that are not, and as I said, we'll hold up on those until we get to a point financially to do something different. But right now, this is what we put together. You have the office of the superintendent, and then you have the chief school financial officer in this area. You have the chief academic officer in that area. You have the associate superintendent of student services. This is a prior title that we used before, and as opposed to what we're using now, which is chief. Then we have the associate superintendent of staff and the executive director of operations. And then under each one of those categories, you will see some individual areas that are represented by some who are here. And then, of course, the major big picture, the big pretty picture is that we have the Board of Education. And then we have the superintendent under the Board of Education. And then we have a big view of all of the different departments that we have within that structure. Then at some point, I'm going to get with our department heads, and we're going to put this all together on one page. The blocks will be much smaller, but then you can have a bird's eye view. But it will be exactly what you see here under each one of those departments.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
You said that some of those were vacant right now.
Right.
Do you, I mean, which ones are? I mean, you don't have to go through them all, but is it
Okay,
several or?
Well, one major one, I think at some point in the future, I do believe we need a deputy superintendent. We don't have one right now.
Okay, so that's a vacant one.
Because, and I've had experience as a deputy, so I can do a lot of that. I can wear more than one hat. So, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And then other people on the staff will chip in and help as I need them. They're very good about cooperating and helping to make things happen. So that's one of the major ones that we don't have to deal with this time. Okay. Do you have, will we be getting a salary? When we get to a point where we think we can afford to advertise, we will have a job description written and get the board's approval on that job description, along with the salary that goes with it.
I'm looking at all of this that's under the chief academic officer. There's a lot of positions under here, and we're talking about finances, but we don't know who is taking these positions, or if we have them now, or what. It's just a lot of people, and we're talking about being top head.
So I would address that, in most cases, these places are already filled. Some of them are paid in Title I money, federal program dollars, so they're not coming out of the general fund. But we do have quite a few people under that area. That's why I am saying to our chief academic officer, or the chief, as he's called, from State Department level also, that we're gonna be expecting great things, because we have a lot of people in place who can help with the academics. And so that's our expectation, that with all of these different categories, and you can see they have different specialties. but they fall under the academic piece, so that's why they're under this particular head.
Okay, I'm looking at item number 7, that we're supposed to consider for approval of the organizational chart. Shouldn't this set out for 30 days?
I don't know if it necessarily has to, but it can, if that's what you like.
I just thought that was a practice, maybe, it was just, don't believe that just.
Years ago, we said we let anything sit out for 30 days, but then we changed, that rule maybe a year and a half ago, that we could let it go sooner than we do. So that's really a board decision, if you only need to sit out, we most definitely let it sit out.
Because that way you have time to ask any questions that you want or concerns that you have about this, but to give it to us today and expect us to vote on it today, I know. I would personally prefer that we consider that.
Okay, so that's not a problem. We'll vote.
Anything else on the chart?
I did have one question, looking at the Office of Human Resource Director of Community Schools, is there a reason that when, who do they report to? Because I noticed there's no real, it doesn't appear, they're just floating there. A line.
Maybe it's just a lot, that's all. What is it? Let me find it, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
My brain's not all the way to the last. I've had a lot going on. Okay, so you asked about the
Director of Community Schools.
community schools. I think that was just a type of the line didn't quite connect, on the printout.
Currently, we call it base,
Right.
and it reports in the same place, there's no time.
I think there's just a little, I see what you're saying, but it just didn't quite connect with when it was printed out.
Moving on to the strategic plan bills.
Okay, so we also, because we need to have a strategic plan, and we're working on that, but the board normally is asked to approve the goals as opposed to all of the inner workings. Of course, we'll share those inner workings with you as we go along, and we'll be giving you updates periodically on how we're going. But I did also work with some folks, and we added the goal on communication, because I thought we needed one in addition to what we had. And then we also added one on technology, and we added one on renovation and looking at facilities in the area, because we really need to concentrate on that. And then we looked at the financial resources to put a goal and some strategies in place for that. Although we're moving on that, we still, if we can identify very strategically what we want to do and how we want to do it. So we added that. And if you recall, maybe a month ago, we kind of gave you a sample of what it would look like with all the action steps and who's responsible for making things happen. So all of these will have that same format, and we will give you pretty frequent updates on how we're moving on all of these different goals.
Any questions? Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson here. Chad?
So while he's coming, we're looking for him, what we're gonna have is an update. If you recall, we have a partnership. Okay, there he is. I don't have to add that anymore. You're good to update.
On the health services. Okay, and they're out there. Let me get Terry, I'm gonna bring him in also. We've got Terry Reed. He's gonna be with us. This is kind of his thing, so he's gonna be joining us for the board meetings from here on out. So we'll get to keep each other warm over there on that seat. But we're excited to have the health services come in with the centers and helping us. We've just gotten approval just this past week to start that up. We were just outside talking about that with the maintenance director. We already have a plan ready for Telegraph. There is some renovation that has to be there. which the great thing is health service is taking care of all of those, the funding for all of that, so nothing is of any cost at MPS. And we should anticipate that to be done within 2 weeks to get that clinic up and running as quickly as possible. And then we have Highland Gardens was the other that they chose. There's no renovation there, it's just really kind of a clean out, and they're gonna put some curtains up at the moment for them to operate out of the Highland Gardens area as well. And then they're gonna have a mobile clinic that will be operating at Chisholm, that's 1 day a week. And then our other one was Davis Elementary will be 2 days a week, they'll be operating there. And then they're gonna have a mobile unit of dental and eye care that they're gonna be working on getting that in place. And hopefully be able to work that around to the different areas that we're going from there. And then next year, their plan is to move into several more locations from that. But instead of getting a third party, I'd love for y'all to meet Terry. I know he was kind of in the background there, but again, he's gonna be with us. And the great thing about this is it's a partnership. They're wanting to be with us. They're not just trying to be an outside entity operating. They're trying to be with us and do something really great for our kids and our community here. So I'm gonna let Terry introduce himself, and if you have any questions, I know he'd be happy to answer.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all allowing me time to come by and see y'all. My name is Terry, I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Health Services Incorporated, and I'll be the contact person for the board, so if there are any issues that arise from the Board of Education, everybody has my cell phone number, y'all are free to have my cell phone number, and we're open to suggestions. Any suggestions y'all might have, we'll work to make everything happen. We're just here to serve.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
I don't think so.
I might still be in my phone from when I was a lead.
I
just want to say thank you. I think this is a wonderful partnership. It will help with our children who are sick in school and maybe can't get into services right away. It will help with our attendance, which is a big part of the accountability once we want our kids to come to school so they can take advantage of the instructional resources, the teaching and learning process. And so I will add also, this is at no cost to the system. I worked in another place where we had to figure out how we were gonna get the money to pay for it, and this is at no cost to the system. It's really a great service. It's not only the dental and it's gonna be psychological and maybe a little social services too if we need it, but it's gonna be a really great working relationship. So I'm really proud of the fact that we're able to do it, and we're able to do it so quickly. Because otherwise it might have taken several years to just get the money to fund it and make it work. So we're very pleased with this, and I think you're gonna see some differences in just how our children feel when they come to school. We feed them, we try to educate them, and now we're trying to take care of some of their health needs in a very positive way. With practical nurses, practitioners, excuse me, and writing prescriptions if they need it, a place to go and get those prescriptions filled. I think overall, we couldn't ask for a better partnership.
Amen.
And so I think they want to be.
My friend in the back, the Chief Medical Officer of Health Services, Dr. Baker, if you can stand up. All the medical doctors and physicians and nurse practitioners for, so does an awesome job there at Health Services.
And they were doing all the renovations at no cost.
Yes.
Right?
We are very, very grateful.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are very grateful. Thank you. Mr. Watts. Financial update.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board, Madam Superintendent. You should have before you a financial statement for the month of December 2018, which represents the third month of the quarter, which this is the end of the first quarter of fiscal year 2019. The reports contained in this financial statement is a snapshot analysis that generally provides just a general overview of MPS and the financial activities of MPS. Secondly, There's a monthly budget percentages. Of course, the first quarter will represent 25% of our total budgeted expenditures. And we added a report in here called a statement of cash flow, where we wanted to provide the board with some comparative data as it relates to how our revenues and expenditures are running. So you'll see the actual numbers of revenues and expenditures for October, November, and December. Therefore, you have an opportunity to compare those numbers. If you ever see anything kind of out of whack, then certainly I encourage the board to ask questions as it relates to that. You would notice on that statement of cash flow, though, our total cash inflows does average to about 25% of our budget, which means we are running in line as it relates to our revenues. Again, with 25% of the fiscal year now, first quarter, is 25%, our revenues are 25%. Our total expenditures are 24% of our total budgeted expenditures. And of course, if there's anything we want to be lower, then it is those expenditures. So we are 1% lower as it relates to our expenditures. Then, of course, there's a pie chart showing our level of expenditures, how monies are being expended. And we see that approximately 80% of our total general fund revenues are being expended towards instruction, which includes our instructional services, which is our students' direct relationship with teachers, and instructional support, the supporting of our teachers. And of course, this is where we want the majority of our dollars expended, towards the classroom. Then we have what is called the F exhibits, with the statement of cash, well, basically the combined balance sheet, which basically states the financial position of the school district as of December of 2018. And we see we had a fund balance of about $23.4 million as of December of 2018. Self reports also consist of a combined statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance, which in private industry would return more of an income statement, which basically lists our revenues and expenditures. Again, the fund balance was about $24 million at the end of December. Our revenues are running in line with our budgeted revenues. Expenditures just a little bit less, which is what we'd like to see, and running at about 24%. Madam President.
Madam Chair, if I would, one moment, please. Mr. Watson, would you go back and just point out page 3, the definitions, and draw attention to that so that they can get an understanding of that? And then also give us an example of some of the other items that fall under operation and maintenance on your pie chart, please.
Certainly. Under operation and maintenance would be mainly those expenditures that are consistent with the safe and secure operations of our buildings. That would include all the salaries and benefits of our custodians, salaries and benefits of all of our entire maintenance department, all of the utilities, security department, salaries and benefits. So all of those expenditures related to the safety and the security and the comfortability of all of our buildings.
And then the definitions page.
Okay, yes, the definition, there's also a definition of accounting terms, which basically provides the board an overview of what some of these accounting terms are as it relates to this financial statement. Assets, liabilities, equity, and what some of those items mean.
Did you have a specific question?
I just wanted to draw attention to that. He's changed the reports up some. He's given more information to make it a little easier to understand so that you can see how we're saving money in some of those areas.
Yes.
So I just wanted to draw attention to the new definitions page and some of the things he's added, Madam Chair.
I like the pie chart too, because it shows where the money's going. Yes.
That's with anybody.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Watts? Thank you. I like that we're saving 1%.
Oh,
boy. Okay. Next up, we have our consent agenda. which we are pulling item H, which is the organizational chart. And we want to pull A. A. Okay, so the A and H, we're pulling from the consent for approval. So we're looking at the personnel report, classified personnel, the education policy, section number 6 and 7, the board minutes from January 15th and 31st, the December 2018 financial statement, strategic goals, and bid report. Is there a motion that we, yes.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second. Second.
Is there any discussion?
You're right.
Yeah.
I had a bad day today. My brain's really working. So let me start again. I recommend that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, is there a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda, personnel report, classified, Montgomery Board of Education Policy Manual, Section 6 and 7, board minutes, January 15 and January 31, December 2018 financial statement, strategic plan goals, and bid report.
A second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Thank you. Okay, so next, up for approval, would you like to recommend?
Yes, I recommend that we approve the personnel report, certified personnel. I'm assuming that it was to be voted on separately, is that the case? I just want to pull.
Let's have a motion first. Is that correct? We have a motion?
I recommend that we approve, A.
I make a motion that we accept I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation on the personnel report, certified personnel.
I second.
Okay, and we have questions.
Question, I noticed in the agenda that there was that item 12 and item 15 were duplicated.
Right, we're gonna remove item 12. Okay. No longer that. 12 and 15 were the same, so we'll duplicate and vote with the 15, which is the same as 12. Yes.
Okay, do we have questions?
I have a question on this, just for clarification, because I looked at last month, I looked at the last 2 months and this, and I won't mention the school, but we had an issue where we didn't have a math teacher the entire first semester at one of our schools. And y'all had assured me that we were gonna have one the second semester for an 8th grade class. And then we hired somebody, and I never saw that person's name as being hired. Then she left on her own within 2 weeks. I've not seen her name either time. Then I asked, can you assure me that we do have a certified teacher? And Dr. Moore, you said yes. And I don't see anybody on this list, nor last month's list, as being in that spot.
Okay, Nancy. The person that's referred to, because I can't call that name, is someone who decided that she did not want to be employed with us. We explained to her when board meeting minutes would go out and when we would present it, and she decided that this may not be the best fit for her. She actually asked us something different.
Right, but why would we not, I mean, I'm not understanding why her name was never on here as being hired. Why we don't even know, it's like she didn't exist. And it's okay if she doesn't, but who's there? You know, do we, I mean, if we really truly have a certified teacher there, which I've been told we do, where is that reflected on this?
Let me explain that. If someone says before a board meeting, before minutes come out, that they don't want to be employed, it doesn't make sense for us to put her through board minutes and then have to go back and take her out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's two actions, one, we just didn't put it before the board.
Yeah.
The certified person that's there, I have to check on that, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know exactly who that is.
But there is.
And I'll be honest with you, I'll have to check.
I mean, why, if there is, why would they not be reflected on it?
Let me just say this, I can't answer that question directly because I don't know. I have to check with the director to see if there's someone who's been hired, but you have to think about it, when board meeting minutes go out, we have to get it to you by a certain time. If that person is doing paperwork and they have not completed it, I can't put them in minutes, because that requires a background check, that requires all of those other pieces that we have to do. But to answer the question very honestly, I don't know that there is, because that person decided, I'm not gonna do it.
I just feel like it's like somebody's gonna tell me there's a certified. You know me, I'm gonna check to make sure it's
And I'm not
there.
telling you that, it's what I'm telling you, I don't know. 50 plus schools, I wanna be honest.
Okay.
And I have to check.
I will check next month to see if, you know, I'm going, if somebody let me know that there's somebody that's certified, because I will look it up.
You can actually call and ask, and I can answer you honestly in the morning, I just
Okay.
can't do that on the phone.
Any other questions on the certified personnel report? Okay. It's been amended, so it's been recommended and amended. Help me here, help me. Well, it got amended because there was a duplication.
So we voted on everything, she made the motion to take care of all of that.
Okay, in that case, do you have another question?
No, not another question. Right. I move that we accept the personnel minutes for certified as amended.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Do you have, okay, all right. And, the organizational chart will be in, at our next meeting. Okay. Thank you. All right, next we have, some scheduled public comments. And let me just run through real quickly the rules. 4 public comment requests, had to be made in advance to the superintendent's office by 4:30 on the Tuesday preceding the meeting day. Request must have specified the nature of the business and to be taken up with the board, and the name of the person who will address the board to be added to the agenda. Communications must be respectful. Discussing specific student or employee matters will not be allowed. Individuals who have concerns that are inappropriate to be solved in this venue are welcome to seek a problem-solving meeting with the superintendent. Immediate feedback by the board may not be provided, however, you may be contacted for follow-up by the superintendent or designee. Public comments may not exceed 5 minutes. The board chairman has full authority to terminate the remarks of any person whose comments contain personal attacks, exceed the time limit, or are otherwise inappropriate. A speaker may be considered disruptive who continues to speak when their allotted time has ended and when asked to stop speaking by the board chairman or is otherwise inappropriate. If a person fails to comply when asked to terminate comments, he or she will be escorted to their seat out of the auditorium and or off the MPS property, depending on the level of disruption. Now, okay, we're down on our technology today, but there is a time clock that will be ticking away. And our first speaker is Ms. Monique Davis on strategies to prevent bullying.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today in regards to bringing awareness about bullying and suicide of our children in our area. When you hear those words, we would think it would never happen here, but the reality is we are experiencing this tragedy more often than people think. Nationally, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death and the second leading cause of death of youth and young adults between the ages of 10 and 24 years. A recent survey stated suicide was the 11th leading cause in Alabama. I come before you as a mother who lost my 10-year-old son to suicide in 2017, caused by bullying from other individuals. We must try to stop this horrible attack on our children. I have established a foundation to honor my son's giving heart and spirit. Jamari Terrell Williams Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission is to provide support to families, schools, and communities to recognize and identify concerns relating to bullying. My goal is to try to prevent other families from going through the same tragedy I have experienced. I would like to know, has the school board revamped any of their policies and procedures regarding bullying? I have spoken to several schools in different counties, and they have invested resources, professional training hours for faculty and students about bullying. I'm not going to name one middle school, it's in another county, but they have redesigned their bullying policies and proceedings according to the Jamari Terrell Williams Student Bullying Prevention Act, which was signed by Governor Kay Ivey on June 1st, 2018. This harassment act was renamed after my son, and it includes cyberbullying, on and off campus bullying, student against student bullying, intimidation, violence, and threats of violence that occurred off school property. I was going to ask another question, but you all answered that earlier, and I appreciate that with health services, providing services in our school. I really commend you all for that, but that was one of my questions, so I definitely appreciate that, being informed about that. And I wanted to know what steps are we taking to reduce the numbers of bullying and suicide incidents in our schools? Can the board assure me and other parents that training for school personnel has been taken and future training is planned in order for all personnel who work with students be prepared for handling bullying situations and to recognize suicide tendencies? And once again, you all said that earlier with health services, so thank you again. It takes a village to raise a child, and as a parent, we would like to know what is Montgomery Public School doing to ensure the safety of our children. I'm not the only one with these concerns. I have parents and children that would like to see change in our school system. This problem is serious, and we as parents and administrators need to work together to find a solution to stop bullying in our school system. Again, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak.
If you can get your information, your contact information to Dr. Kathleen Williamson, I think she can answer your questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Jamel Brown on unity in the community.
Yeah, you save the best for last. The Bible says last become first. That's why you approve those minutes, so that I can be last, because you didn't want me to speak before y'all did what y'all did. For years, I've been coming to the Board of Education meeting back in the day. I never was disrespected like I was last Tuesday, Madam Chairman, when you had me kicked out of this meeting. When we talk about unity in the community, I am a staunch black leader in Montgomery. Social media platform, close to 1 million folks watching. They watching y'all now. You disrespected me. You listened to the state. And I'm going to call your boss tomorrow. I'm not going to mention his name. He said no personal. So I'll call his boss tomorrow. I have hundreds of black pastors on the west side of Montgomery support me and bag me. And let me tell you something, you can keep putting me at the end of the program all you want. But I promise you, I will come to every meeting for the rest of this year and ask to get placed on the agenda to speak about unity in our community. And the reason why we're happening at Lee and a lot of these other schools going on because of what the kids not only hearing at home, but seeing so-called leaders and board members put them on the back of the bus like they did black folks over 50-some years ago. I applaud my board member, Miss Browse. I applaud Miss Smith. I like both of them. But the rest of y'all disrespecting me. And I'm a preacher. I am a man of God. And I leave with this, Superintendent. Because I know you heard of me. Saul was on the way to Damascus to kill some Christians. He was blind, but he had his eyes open. And you know what happened one day? God sent an angel. Said, Saul, why do you persecute me, the Lord? He said, who is you, Lord? Sent to a prophet Ananias, and he woke up. I said it to say this. A lot of y'all seeing and you're still blind. And I'm not afraid to get put out or go to jail or nothing for my people. But matter of fact, I'm ready to get put out today. It's good publicity. Because people need to see what y'all doing to these kids. And some of y'all ran on China. I'll make sure when you next time you run, I'll make sure I put money behind your opponents. My dad served in the military. Left close to $1 million. I'll put money behind it. Because I am displeased of this board. And I told my weapon, this is my weapon. I don't need no gun. I got this right here. You didn't embarrass me. Now, Madam Chair, you didn't embarrass me last Tuesday. Matter of fact, you just motivated me to keep on running for Jesus. So if you want unity, start acting like you want unity. Let's stand up for each other. Let's fight for these kids together. I don't have a problem with none of y'all on the board. But what I do have a problem with when you pick up backroom bills for that master down there on River Street. We come to see you at the city council meeting. He probably watching. Master Shrine, that's his name. Don't put the kids on the back of the bus. I will be here every board meeting until you make a law. Say Jamel Brown, got one more minute or something. You say Jamel Brown don't come back there, then you'll face a lawsuit. I'm ready to fight. I'm like David. I got 5 stones, and I ain't used one yet.
We have a couple of people who have signed up for citizens' comments. And I'm not going to read this. The same rules apply except that there are 3 minutes. And the first person is Reverend Brown. That's him. Oh, he's on it twice. Okay. All right, so Ricky Lee.
The entire gathering, especially to CAO, Roller, President T, and Chairperson, Wales, I got it correct, and the Superintendent. I'd like to say that there's a lot of sweet and bitterness with the Montgomery County Public Schools. And the truth is just the truth. And I'd like to say that one of the times when I spoke, I think this is about my 3rd time speaking, but this time as a citizen, not a public comment. I think I said everything right. I'm going to have to apologize. I think I said one thing that was not exactly correct. I had talked to me about a few people, and I said I hadn't followed up as much. I did follow up. Everybody interacted with me to a certain extent and everything. So I know you have been elected. I don't know if everybody was elected at the same time, but you have quite a task ahead of you, and I think you are already trying to do a good job. And I really mean that. But one thing I would like, if somebody makes a criticism, try not to take it personally or take it too hard. And remember this, that a lot of people are rooting for you all. A lot of people that are really looking for you to pull it up and up and up. And I'm looking for it too. And I really mean that. If I ever say something wrong, forgive me. But I want you all to know that a lot of people are bad at me. And we all can tell by this meeting what might have happened today. There's a lot of bittersweet things going on in Montgomery County. But please remember, when you say people realize the bad more than the good, think about this. Montgomery County has come on the state intervention. And that's a serious matter. And so when we say we just want to concentrate on the good, it's just like going to the doctor, you having a heart problem, brain surgery, you need to concentrate on the bad to try to improve that. A lot of people are pulling for you, and I'm pulling for you too. And I thank you trying to put forth a lot of good effort. And thank you for that. Here.
Thank you, sir. Our next work session is March the 12th. Is there any other business before us today? Then we are adjourned.
Take care.